This is Hidden Killers Week in Review.
A look back at the most prolific stories of the week.
This is Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski. Here now, Tony Brueski.
Is Bryan Kohberger a failed Ted Bundy or just a wannabe who blew it on his first try? In this segment, we take a hard look at the psychology, the planning, and the outcome of the Moscow murders through the lens of someone who's actually profiled real killers. Retired FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindaffer. Because there's been a lot of noise online about how smart Kohberger was or how perfectly planned the crime was, despite the fact that he was caught within weeks, left DNA on a knife sheath, and had a digital and vehicular trail long enough to map in Google Earth. So, what's the truth? Was this someone on the verge of becoming a serial offender who got stopped just in time? Although just in time is relative, considering 4 people are dead. But I guess if you're to look at being a serial offender, there could have been a lot more. Or someone who studied crime academically but couldn't apply it in the real world. Just like Kohberger seemed to try and study people academically, but couldn't quite make being one a thing in the real world. We're going to get into some of those pre-offense behaviors, things like reports of someone watching the victims from the woods, tampering with doors, the uneasy feeling some of the roommates had before the murders. Could that have been Kohberger? Did he escalate from fantasy into action? And was this his first and only attempt, or just the first one that broke? And then there's the trial that never happened. If it had gone to a jury, would the evidence have held up? Was the DNA enough? Would one conspiracy-driven juror have torched the whole case? And let's get into what makes Kohberger a case worth studying or not with Jennifer Coffindaffer. Let's go. Is there a lot to be learned from Bryan Kohberger, I guess is the question, because it does seem he fumbled this thing up pretty well. The killers we're talking about there, Bundy, BTK, you name them, they had reps. They had a track record. They were able to get away with their crimes many, many times over before actually being caught, some for decades. Kohberger screwed up on his first attempt, as far as we know this being his first attempt. And as far as what we're learning more and more of, there were a lot of dropping the balls here. Obviously, horrible, horrible crime. The tragedy of these 4 young lives being lost, that's the shocking, rough, absolutely disturbing part of all this. But at the end of the day, was this a genius killer that does deserve that sort of attention, or that anything can honestly really be gleaned out of, other than this is a mentally deficient human being that somehow found this to be a great idea and even screwed that up?
Well, I think 2 things. First of all, I don't think anything coming out of his mouth could ever be trusted. Mm-hmm. Because the statements made by people like that are so self-serving. Because in the end, he's going to want everybody to still think he's smart and he's an amazing human and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So that's the difficult part, that even if he does interview, it's on his terms. And, are we really going to believe him? Yeah. But to your other point, is he even worth it? Yeah. I think he is worth it because he planned this forever. Mm-hmm. And did he do any other burglaries? We know he didn't do any other murders, but did he do any burglary type? What all did he do in preparation for this? Ted Bundy was a prolific burglar, peeper, stalker, if you will. I call it surveillance type. Before he ever committed his murders. I agree with you. They did murders, so many more, and for such a long time to be so prolific. But he was really, I think, one in the making, and he's going to be around probably 50 years. He's so young.
Yeah, he definitely is. When we're talking about profiling, we're talking about some of the behavior prior to the crime. There's a lot of things that have come out there, but we don't necessarily know if it was him. One, considering we know what actually took place eventually, one would lead one to think possibly it's him. Talking about the house itself, the door tampering, the girls feeling uncomfortable, some of them spotting people off in the distance, watching them. Do you think that was Kohberger that was involved in any of those incidents pre the murders taking place?
I think it really is possible. I don't know about the door being ajar. It seemed like, we know people were going in and out of that house often, especially on weeknights and things. And, I'll never forget that scene where the house is packed with people and not one person who lived there was there. So it was, party central. So I'm not sure about the door being ajar, but I tell you that spooky description of somebody watching, them looking over it. For those of you who haven't seen that house, it's got woods around it, a tree line where somebody could easily go. And we need to remember, Kohberger was a runner, not just I think I'm going to go out and recreationally run. He was down to 6-minute miles. And for those of us who run, that is a very healthy clip. So he could have even parked further away, left his car further away, and ran and be that person that was on foot watching from afar. That would not surprise me at all and makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, not at all. It does make you wonder if we're going to hear more reporting or any other folks coming out going, oh, yeah, I remember him running through town, or seeing him in odd places running, where it's like, oh, he's just a runner, maybe, or is there something else going on here? When we're looking at other aspects of this case, or retrospectively looking at some of this now that obviously we're getting more answers to. What else has stood out to you as some pieces that you wanted answers to that maybe now we have gotten? And are you happy with those answers that have been revealed?
Well, I have to tell you, Tony, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that we don't know more. I mean, a lot of what's being revealed are, just shows the work they put in, but not necessarily results. Yeah, which is often what happens. For instance, we're getting to see Jack Showalter, who a lot of people thought early on that he, was somehow involved in this crime. And so we're getting to see the steps that law enforcement took, the search warrant that was done to, try to see if he had anything to do with this. Of course, he was exonerated very early on. It was found that he had nothing to do with this crime. And they actually did a list, and he was on it saying, this is not a subject anymore. We've run down those leads. So we're getting to see that. And I think it's important for citizens to see that that's what happens. You start small and then you work out, but you have to very diligently investigate all the inner circle. And they did that, and we're getting to see that. What's irritating, Tony, is watching people say, see, even law enforcement was looking into him. See, he's involved. I mean, it's like the Twilight Zone. Yeah, people starting like it's 2.5 years ago in November. See, it was Showalter. See, it was Dylan. See, it was Bethany. It is mind-boggling to me. It really is.
The stupidity? Yeah, it's shocking.
It is. Everybody wants a conspiracy, Tony. Everybody wants a conspiracy. I just saw actually somebody sent it to me because I pretty much stay within my own platform and in my own lane. But, the big thing going around right now is that I'm Papa Roger. That went around a year ago.
You are Papa Roger. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
It's on fire right now. I really just kind of want to post that meme that somebody actually made of me being Papa Roger. I just want to put that up and just say, yeah, it's me.
You should just start an account and just start saying weird things out of it as
who has time for that, Tony?
Exactly.
Other than to kill us.
Let me ask you this one more question, and this is one I've been kind of pondering for a little bit, and I think you have too. Had this gone to trial, how confident are you that he would have been convicted? I mean, it came down to the DNA, I think, at the end of the day. That was the strongest piece of evidence. Obviously, you have circumstantial things. You have them buying the products way earlier, the weapon way, way, way back. But how strong of a case do you think this would have been had it gone to trial, considering, juries aren't that hard. You just need one to say, I don't think it's him.
I think it was a very, very strong case based on those three pieces, right? It's always been based on the car, leaving the scene, the Willanta video, all the video footage combined with the cell information, including the fact that he turned his off, combined with the information from, them finding him with gloves on, digging around, trying to make sure his DNA wasn't found anywhere. Putting his organic trash into another trash can and, all of that. I mean, that just showed consciousness of guilt combined with all the things they did find, which were the nitrile gloves, the kit bag. He had a gun, he had a lot of stuff that was, that people don't normally have, that aren't going to commit crimes. The other search for a replacement K-bar knife. And then you add that coup de grace, which was that DNA. I think the jury would have gotten it right. But I tell you, with these crazy sleuths that are always trying to stir up, just nonsense, you just never know if that would have caught fire in some way, and if a juror could have been tainted like what we saw in Karen Reed.
So what's the value in profiling someone who couldn't even get away with one crime? That's a question hanging over this entire case, because Kohberger's actions, from his academic pursuits to his late-night surveillance patterns, suggest a man who wanted to understand crime, even attempted committing it, stealing his sister's phone and selling it at a mall kiosk, only to be busted by Dad, and Dad turning him into the police. This isn't a genius mastermind, kids. This is a guy who got away with a crime for a short period of time, and then all the evidence started piling up because he had no plan other than he likes looking at stars. His execution showed someone who couldn't manage the fundamentals of hiding a crime. Jennifer made a key point. The real takeaway isn't that he was brilliant, it's that he was obsessed. And that obsession, paired with ego, delusion, and meticulous but flawed planning, is exactly the combination that makes him worth studying. Or does it? Not because he succeeded, but because he didn't. It doesn't make him very remarkable in terms of infamous serial killers. He was caught pretty much right away. He didn't become a serial killer in the sense of going from one place to another and pulling off his crime in infamy for years. The moron got busted right away. And yet the public's still chasing ghosts. Jack Showalter, the roommates, Papa Roger. 2 years later, people are still trying to solve a case that's already been solved. Jack is innocent. The roommates had absolutely nothing to do with it. And if you think differently, leave this channel. Please. We have no room for you at this inn. We don't have room for minds that are that broken, because if you think that, you're just as broken as he is. Sorry. It's been fun. We're getting a divorce. Although I don't think we were ever together if you thought Kohberger was innocent. If you still think that, even after all of this, toodles. It's easier to chase conspiracy than to accept the truth. Sometimes the killer is exactly who the evidence points to. If this case had gone to trial, the evidence would have likely held. But in today's world, all it takes, is one juror watching the wrong YouTube rabbit hole to blow everything up. That's the tightrope prosecutors now walk in every high-profile case. Crazy meeting crazy. In the end, Kohberger didn't get the legacy he probably wanted, but he did leave behind questions, and whether those questions are worth answering, well, that's I guess, up to us. And how many more we want to keep asking. Give me your thoughts in the comments section on our YouTube channel. If you're not already there, search Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski. If you're there, search Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski on the podcast platforms. Wherever you get podcasts, you'll find us there. And press subscribe so you don't miss us. You can take us anywhere you go. And there's unique content on each platform, by the way. So if you want everything, hit subscribe on both, please. And like I said, do comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on YouTube. Until next time, my name is Tony Brueski. We will talk again real soon.
Want more on this case and others? Then press subscribe now and don't miss a moment of true crime coverage from Tony Brueski and the Hidden Killers podcast.